The stretch and mobility routine for horse riders and horse therapists. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what this is like, especially if you are an equestrian running around the place, prioritizing our horses, our clients, and what's the number one thing we forget to do? Look after ourselves. If you're not in the best shape of your life, if you're not thriving from the inside out, how can you not only perform the best for your horse, but show up best for your clients? Now, this combination of exercises today has been put together because there are patterns in all of us. So it's great for all levels. There are some more challenging poses, but at the same time, if you want to improve things like hip flexibility, a lot of riders struggle with tight hips, tight hamstrings, tight upper body, and tight lower back. This is the routine for you. So let's get started. I'm in sunny Dubai at the moment doing some clinics over here, hence why it is warm and I'm in nice kind of gym outfit gear. However, you can do this in your jodhpurs, you can do this in some leggings, whatever you want, just feel comfortable. Grab a yoga mat, a little bit uncomfortable on the hard floor, so make sure you just got some little bit of cushioning. And let's start. We're actually going to start on our hands and knees. So we're going to start with, I'm sure you've done this before, a cat-cow. So first of all, come to a tabletop position, making sure that like your wrists, elbows and shoulders are all in alignment. Same thing with your knees and your hips, and just pretend you actually have some plates on top of your spine. So make sure you're not too far out there. Make sure you have that tabletop, hence the name, position, and you're nicely supported through your back. Even in this position as we are now, just do an exercise for me and just zip up your abdominals, engage your core straight away. A lot of us actually tend to do this, which is also to do with your pelvic angle. However, you can imagine zipping up your core. Imagine those plates are on your back. So we're going to start with a cat-cow. You're going to inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to drop your belly down and lift your chin up to the sky. Inhale and exhale, arch your spine like a cat. Same thing again. Let's do 10 of these. Follow your own pattern, your own breath, your own movement. The key thing is just not to hold your breath when you're doing this. So inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, let it all out. Just follow your own movement pattern here. That's it. Inhale and exhale. Now we're actually going to move to more of a dynamic movement. So this can actually seem a bit strange in the beginning if you've not done it. But you're just going to pretend like you're drawing a big figure of 8 with your body, or a big circle. So I kind of sit back down onto my heels, and I'm also moving. We're opening up the wrists, the shoulders, and then just not be brave with it, but just have some fun with it, okay? Get into your hips, sit back, really open up your spine. So you can see here I'm moving my spine in all directions. If you want to make it a bit of fun, you can even bring back your cat-cow whilst you're doing this as well. So just open up and let go through your spine. Don't forget to breathe, as always, as when we're doing this. And then join me back into a tabletop position. Right? We should feel a lot more mobile right now. What I'd like you to do now is actually to work on your wrist mobility. This is something that a lot of riders and therapists often forget. We forget we have these wrists and we need these wrists. So we're going to first of all start by making your fingers face your knees. Now, this can be quite uncomfortable in the beginning, so go as far as you can. And depending on your range of motion at the moment will depend on how far you can go. So if you're really far forward, because there's a bit of a torsion up through your forearm, go as slow as you can and never push into pain. Breathe and just hold. So if this is as far as you can go, that's absolutely fine. If you can sit back a little bit, that's also great, and you should feel a little bit more of a torsion kind of coming up through the forearm. Let's inhale and exhale for 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Good, and one more time. Inhale, exhale. Right, move your wrists back very slowly. Just sit back down onto your heels and just give your wrists a bit of a shake here. It's normal to feel a little bit of discomfort through here. A lot of us, like I say, just often forget these wrists. We're now going to move on from our wrists and actually do a little bit more to not only open them up, but open up our shoulders. So I'm just going to do this facing you. Just sit down in a comfortable position. Interlace your fingers. Now, whichever way you interlace them, remember where you've interlaced them. So interlace them, that's my normal position. And then you're just going to do this like Mexican wave here. Bring some joy into it, bring some fun, bring some movement. Lovely. And then whatever way you've just had, interlace them the other way around. Sometimes it can feel a bit cack-handed. That's it. But a lot of us end up favoring one side to the other. So again, if I go the other way, it feels totally discoordinated. And that's it. Good. Okay, give your little hands and wrists a good shake again. Let's move on to our shoulders. So placing your hands on your shoulders like this at the top, just relax, so don't hunch your shoulders up to your ears. A nice neutral position. You're going to draw some circles with your elbows. You're going to do 10 circles coming forward. Lovely. Great, keep going. And just checking with yourself, what can you feel? Is one tighter shoulder, is one shoulder tighter than the other, or vice versa? And then you're going to come back to neutral, and then we're going to go the other direction. That's it. I can definitely feel I'm a little bit tighter, moving my elbows back than I am coming forwards. Great. Give your arms and everything just a bit of a shake again. Okay, this is a really good exercise. I'm actually just going to face that way so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to place your hands behind your ears like this, or at the back of your head. Just make sure you're not putting pressure on it. They're just lightly touching. Now as you inhale, you're going to bring your elbows together. Inhale, kind of round through your back. Exhale, open your back like this. So spread those elbows wide. Inhale, bring them together. Exhale out. Inhale together. And exhale out. Inhale together. And exhale out. Awesome. Should be feeling all nice and mobile through the upper body and through the core. Let's move on to these hips. Let's move on to these wonderful hips. We're going to come into a tabletop position. What I'd like you to do is, again, making sure your wrists, elbows, shoulders are all in alignment. Let's start with our left hip. So you're going to gently lift up the hip first. Now, if you find that too uncomfortable, bring your right knee underneath you a little bit more, just for a bit of stability, so you don't feel like you're leaning, falling over, or putting unnecessary pressure. We're going to lift up the hip, bring your foot, your heel towards your bottom, and you're just going to do some really small circles forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the other way. 1. If you hear some like release through the body, don't panic. This is your body opening up. Good. Lovely. Now let's transfer and do the other side. So first of all, to just test your mobility out and just test your balance, lift up the leg and see where you're at. If you're uncomfortable in that position, move your left leg underneath yourself for a bit more support. Engage those abdominals every time. Lift the right leg up, engage the core. 5 circles forward, let's go. And you're drawing a big circle, and remember to keep that right heel close to your bottom as possible. This kind of movement, mobility exercises are not about speed. They're actually about slowing the movement down and breathing, checking in with yourself. Lovely. And then we're going to just bring the knees down. Let's just sit back again and give our wrists a bit of a shake, a bit of a release. Big inhale with me, exhale. Lovely. Let's progress from there and let's really open up the core, engage the core. So what's our stance? Tabletop position. Come onto your feet, so engage your feet. Instead of having them pointed, you're going to engage them. So now we're engaging the ankles, but also through our toes. All I want you to do is come up in what's called a bear stance. So you can lift your knees up. As you're doing this, lower slow. I am using my core to lift myself up, not relying on my wrists. Engage, lift. Good. Hold, lower. Let's do 10. Let's go. Slow. Keep your back nice and straight, neutral spine. Engage your core. Good. Nice. 2 more. Nice. Yeah, good. Now, whilst we're in this position, we're just going to come up and see how we're feeling through our hamstrings in a downward facing dog. So let's go into a bear stance first, engage, and then just sit back a little bit. Now, if you can only get to there and you're like, Nika, that is all I can do, stay here, don't push yourself. And from that position, start to walk the dog. Depending on what time of the day you're doing this exercise or this routine, can really affect how stiff you are. So in the mornings, you might be a little more stiff. Don't push yourself, listen to your body, and it's obviously a dynamic flow, so we're not at risk of pulling any muscles. So when you feel more comfortable, start to straighten your hamstrings, your legs, and just hold that downward dog wherever you are. So if you're here, don't worry about it, stay there and breathe. Wherever you are, hold that position. 5 inhales. Let's go. Inhale. Big exhale. Inhale again. You can choose to inhale through your nose, and I would exhale through your nose or through your mouth. Make sure that your shoulders are not touching your ears. Relax your shoulder joints. Make sure there's space between your ears and your shoulders. Keep going for me. Inhale again. And exhale. Okay, whilst we're in this position, what I want you to do is lift your left leg up to the ceiling, put weight down your right leg, lift it up, bring your left leg in towards your chest, so chin to chest, hold, come forward with your body weight onto your wrists, back up into a 3-legged dog. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I don't mind if the hips are coming open. Just go as slow or as fast as you want. Good. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, hold, hold. Engage your core. Exhale, bring the leg down. And just one deep breath for me. Downward facing dog. Hold that position. Check in with yourself. Lovely. Let's do this on the other side. Lift your right leg up. And as you come forward, inhale, bring it chin to chest. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Inhale, exhale. This is a dynamic flow. We're not holding. Exhale, good. Inhale. Check in with yourself here. Is there any difference from the right leg to the left leg? And does this relate to when you're riding your horse? Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's come down to a child's pose. Sit back onto your heels, extend your arms forward, and relax. Let's enjoy this moment of stillness. Check in with yourself, close your eyes, breathe, and just sit with this moment. Check in with your breath. How are you feeling? The body might be a little bit warmer now. There's a little blood flowing to the areas that we've just worked. The heart rate might have slightly risen. Nice still mind because we're now working with the body, the mind, the breath. That's it. That's it. One more inhale. Deep inhale and exhale. Okay, let's come up. I'd like you to actually join me at the center of your mat now. We're going to do some more hip exercises, those great hip exercises. And we're going to start with window wipers. So what I want you to do, this will depend on how flexible you actually are through your hips at the moment. So don't push yourself. And there's quite a few variations that you can do. So the first one is actually just support your spine and straighten your back so that you're not hunching and you're not leaning forward. If this is as far as you can go, that's fine, stay here. What I want you to do is with your feet facing forward, you're just going to let's drop both legs, both knees to the right to come here. Now at the beginning, don't be too much obsessed with having a 90-degree angle. Just go as far as you can go, hold it there, and then let's swap to the other side. Okay, so now all I want you to do is window wipe. That's it. Keep your spine nice and straight, shoulders pinned back, and just opening up those hips. It's a dynamic flow. Inhale and exhale. That's lovely. Not pushing yourself, you're just listening to your body. You might only be able to get here on one side and then completely flat on the other side. Just keep checking with yourself. Good. Okay, whilst you're here, back nice and straight, bring your feet together with your big toes touching. Now you can either, depending on your current flexibility through your hips, I'd like you to either bring your feet closer together or further apart. Wherever it sits with you, we just don't want any pain, we just want that comfortable feeling. If you're up here, don't worry, that's fine. Just find that range where you're comfortable. Okay, this will very much depend on how flexible you are at the moment. Now we're going to do what's called butterflies. So very quick movements, bringing your knees up towards you, keep that spine nice and straight, zip up through your abdominals. Imagine you've got a string being pulled from the top of your head all the way to the ceiling. Straight posture, that's it, shoulders pinned back. And we're going to do another 20 of these. It's quite a fast movement. Again, we're not putting any pressure in terms of stretching, we're just doing a little contractions. Keep going, engage your core. That's it, almost there. Good, 2, 1, awesome. Okay, let's really work on those hip flexors now. Those lovely hip flexors. Okay, so let's start with our right leg. You're going to just put the weight onto your left knee a second. Come forward, bring your right leg forward. Just make it in a nice, comfortable position. So ideally your knee and your ankle is in alignment. This will again depend on your range of motion through your hip flexors and also through your lower back. So just a comfortable position. If you want to hold on to the wall as well, you can do. With your toe, make sure your toe is flat. And what we're going to do here is you're going to inhale and just bring your body weight forward so your knee comes over your toe, and then you're going to bring it back to neutral. That's it. Let's do 5 of these. If you've got a bit of a sore knee, I'd recommend put a pillow, a cushion, put it underneath your knee for support. That's it. Keep going. This is a dynamic flow, so we're not stretching. Okay, good. Now what I want you to do is, just for a bit of support, bring your hands down, come forward, and as you then inhale and as you exhale, sit back and bring your toe to the ceiling. So you should feel a really deep stretch all the way through your hamstring into your glutes. What I don't want you to do is round your spine. Just keep your spine nice and straight. So if you can only get up to there, that's fine. Keep listening to your body. We're going to hold this position for another inhale and an exhale. Good. Come forward again, and this time bring your body weight forward, but keep your hands on the floor just to support yourself. Zip up through your abdominals again. Spine nice and straight, and you should feel a deeper stretch now in the other hip, the front of the hip flexor, through the pelvic girdle. Hold. Okay, whilst we're here, come onto the left toes, come up. So we're here, bring the knee up, straighten the leg, place your left hand near your right foot. This is called a runner's lunge into the world's greatest stretch. I don't know why it's called that. We're going to put the left hand down, bring the right hand up to the ceiling. That's it. Hold. Inhale. Now, if you find that too uncomfortable, lower the left knee for more support. Always check in with yourself. Always listen to your body. Good. Okay, let's bring back to neutral. And let's swap to the other side. Left leg forward. Remember in the beginning, just start with your knee over your ankle, just to start off with. Hips pointing forward. You're going to inhale. We're just going to come forward. We're going to come back to neutral. Inhale and exhale. That's it. Gosh, I don't know about you, but I feel a real difference in my right hip to my left hip. The left hip for me feels a lot tighter. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys feel, if there's any difference for you. If you're completely symmetrical, what's your secret? What is your secret, and is your horse symmetrical? Comment and let me know. So, once we've done a few of those, okay, we're going to bring our hands to the floor. We're going to sit back, inhale and exhale, and bring the toes to the ceiling. Nice deep stretch through here. Remember that back must be nice and straight, nice and neutral. No arch. If you can only come to there, not a problem. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, that's good. Now gently come forward, both hands supported yourself on the floor. Two options here. Come onto your right toe, lift your right knee up, straighten that leg. Bring the right hand forward to your left toe, left hand up to the ceiling and hold. That's it. Remember, another option, bring the right leg down onto your knee and support yourself. Good, just hold it there. Good, bring the hand down, bring the knee down, and come back to your seated position. And I'm going to just sit back down onto our bottom. Bring the legs forward. We're going to do a lifting exercise, one leg at a time. First of all, straight back, no rounding. Do this in a couple of ways depending on how strong your core is and how strong your hip flexors are. Toes pointing up to the ceiling. What I want you to do, you can either support yourself like this. Remember the nice posture is back, shoulders back, chest out. And what I want you to do in the beginning is just going to lift up your left leg. Don't do it through straining. We're going to do it through engaging. Almost rhymes. So engage the core and imagine you've got a string that's pulling this toe up to the ceiling. You're going to do this. You're just going to lift and hold. Lift and down. That's it. Good. Good. You should feel like your quads, the muscles up here are activating when you're doing it, but make sure it's coming from your core, nowhere else. Good. Okay, let's swap to the side. Nice. 2. Breathe. 9. 10. Good. Let's do some more activation through our hamstrings. You're going to point your toes, flex them. Point, flex, point, flex. Engage your core, straighten your back, shoulders pin back. Nice. Hands can be here. If your posture's quite good, just have them rested. Good. Okay, we've got one more exercise to do. This has been an amazing exercise that I found when I remember it actually from when I was doing my ballet days. So it is quite an advanced hip exercise. If you have got any hip pain, let's stick to just doing the window wipers, the 90s. But if you want a little bit more of a challenge, this is what we're going to do. So in the beginning, what I want you to do is move your left leg underneath you like this, in front of you, in almost like this 90 degree. Place your left hand on the floor for some support. Straighten that spine again. Imagine you've got the string zipping you up. Engage the core. And what I want you to do is bring this right leg forward. Okay, so here we're going to lift it forward and place it back. Can you see how my body weight is moving over onto my left seat bone? This will very much depend on your range of motion, your core strength, and whether you have any issues or any weaknesses in the spine. Never push yourself here. That's it. Good. Okay, lovely. Let's swap sides. So moving my weight onto my right seat bone. I'm going to bring my right leg first. I've got it on this 90 degree angle. Transfer my weight onto my right seat bone. You'll find if you're doing it very central that you might find a bit of a, depending on your flexibility, a bit of a feeling of like a pull right into the hip joint. And that will depend on your flexibility, if you have any issues going on in the muscular connections and the connective tissue around the hip joint. Everyone's different. If you're feeling any pain and it's uncomfortable, this is when we need to seek our team of professionals to work with us. Right hand down, spine zipped up, whoop, core engaged. I've got a string pulling my spine nice and straight. We've got my right hand here for support. I'm going to bring the leg forward, keep it off the floor, and back. Good, let's keep going. That's it. Nice. Good. Check in with yourself. This is your workout. You've dedicated time to yourself. How are you doing? Nice. The final one is a yogi squat. So what I'd like you to do, now this will again depend on your range of motion that you currently have. Grab a chair for support or grab the wall. It's totally up to you. But this is the position we're going to come into. So I'd like you to, you're going to start by just bringing your feet underneath your hips, support yourself, bend your knees and just toe your toes outward, your heels inward, and sit down into that squat position. You might have to wiggle around a bit, again, depending on your current range, just to get into the comfortable position, and you're going to hold it there. Now this is quite difficult to stretch, so I'm going to just face this way so you can see. If you need a chair to help yourself, that's absolutely fine. If you need the wall, don't put pressure on yourself. This is your movement, this is your workout. The fact that you're here showing up is friggin' amazing, so credit to you. You can place your elbows on the inside of your knees and try and straighten, again, your spine is totally up to you. Breathe, inhale and exhale. Lovely. Okay, join me in a seated position. That's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions or you want more of a specific routine for you, comment below. I'm human, you're human, let's connect, let's start a conversation, and my mission is to help more equestrian people because I've been in the industry a long time and there is a real lack of self-care. There is a real lack of putting yourself first and not spending all of your money and time on your horse. Even though we love it and they're in our hearts, we need to also do some self-care for ourselves.